Hi everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. This is just a really quick video for me to tell you what my weekend reading plans are. I used to do Friday reads every single Friday back in the day, and I used to really enjoy doing those videos. It was just a really quick catch up each week, sometimes just midway through the month, to let everyone know how we were getting on with our reading. And so I thought I would do one this week just because I didn't have another video planned and I've got some really exciting reading plans coming up. So the first thing I wanted to mention isn't actually a book that I need to finish. I've actually already read it and I'll be talking about it in a live stream this evening. So the live stream I think will be happening in 45 minutes as this video goes up. So if you're watching this a little bit later, then you can already go and check out the live stream on the Space Sirens channel, because we are discussing A Memory Called Empire, which is a space opera sci-fi book about a woman who is an ambassador, and it's kind of a political situation. She has to go and find out why her predecessor died or disappeared. I'm really excited to talk about this one with Space Sirens, so that's what's happening in just a little bit. And then as for my actual reading plans, I have a lot because I am being overly ambitious and I'm really kind of in the reading zone. So first of all, I have started Where's Radiance Part 2. This is the second half of the second book in the Stormlight archive, and I've read the first half already obviously, and I've already started this one. I'm currently almost 200 pages in, so I'm probably not going to finish it this weekend, but I want to read another 100 pages or so. I do have some recording and some editing to do, and I want to schedule some blog posts, so I'm splitting up my reading for this one so that once I've done one task I can then read a few pages or a chapter or so of this, because I'm really enjoying it. I love it so much. And then I can't actually decide which book I want to start first. So I have Crown of Feathers, which is on my kind of physical TBR of 3 books that I want to read this month. This one is about 2 sisters who are phoenix riders, and they find a baby phoenix, and phoenix riding isn't a thing that you can do in this fantasy world. I think either the riders are hunted and are very rare now, or the phoenixes are hunted and are also quite rare, maybe both, I don't know. I did start reading this a while back, but I can't remember much of it. I just remember really enjoying the writing style, so I really want to read this one. And I think the 3rd book in this trilogy is coming out this year, so hopefully I can get my hands on the 2nd book in time and then catch up with the trilogy. Or I might start The Glass Sentence. This is part of a different project that I'm doing that I'll talk about more in a week or so, I think. This one, I don't really know much about it. I think this is also part of a series. It says here that it's set in 1891 and it is kind of like a time travel-y thing. I did start this one a while ago as well actually, but I only read I think 1 chapter. So anyway, as I was saying, it's set in 1891 and almost a century ago, something threw all of the continents into different time periods from prehistory to the far future. Map making has now become a fine art, a mixture of both science and magic. Sophia comes from a family of explorers. 8 years ago her parents vanished. They went on a mission, never returned. She has lived with her uncle since then, who is then kidnapped, and Sophia must search for him with the help of Theo, a refugee from the west. So I think this is kind of like historical time travel science fiction with some action in there as well. It sounds really good, and I know some people who love this book. It came out quite a while ago now. I can't remember which year it was released. 2014 I think, according to this copyright page. So yeah, quite a while ago. I'm really excited to read it. It's also got a map in there as well, showing like the different areas of the US and the different time periods that are in. Honestly, the world building for this one sounds fantastic. I'm so excited to read it. I'm really glad that I finally got the chance to, because it's been on my shelf for ages. I just don't know if I want to commit to this weekend or Crown of Feathers, or both. Maybe I can manage both, but probably not, because they're both quite long books. This one is 500 pages and I'm pretty sure Crown of Feathers is as well. Also, just wanted to mention this is Deckled Edges, and I feel like this came out during that Deckled Edges phase, and I really missed that phase actually. I really like these Deckled Edges. It feels like I'm reading an old book and I love it. So those are all the physical books that I am planning or hoping to read. And then I also have some NetGalley books as well, because I'm still trying to work my way through my NetGalley TBR, especially because April is coming up and it's almost time for my next check-in for the year, and I did say I wanted to get my NetGalley percentage up to 57. It's going well, but I want to make sure I'm still on track. So one of the books I want to read is It Goes Like This. This one is a YA debut. By the way, I'm purposefully picking thrillers or contemporary books to kind of break up the fantasy, because I've got a lot of fantasy going on right now. It says here that these 4 girls used to think their friendship was unbreakable. After all, they've been through a lot together, including the astronomical rise of Moonlight Overthrow, the world-famous queer pop band they formed in middle school, never expecting to headline anything bigger than the county fair. But there's a sudden falling out, the band breaks up, and then I think the teenagers kind of fall out for a while and then maybe have to get back together and sort of work on their problems and their differences. I don't know, I think it sounds good. I picked it up initially because it's a debut and the author contacted me, but it does sound like a really good book. I've also got Better Together to read, which is Christine reading Ricchio's next book. This is her second book, I think. I didn't really like Again But Better, but because it's the second book, I think it might be at least better than the first book. Hang on a second, if it's called Better Together, does that mean that it's a sequel or a companion book? It says here that it's Freaky Friday meets The Parent Trap. Jamie is an aspiring stand-up comedian with a growing case of stage anxiety. Siri is a stunning ballerina from New Jersey nursing a career-changing injury. They both signed up for the same session of a retreat. Oh, it's set in a retreat. Okay, I didn't know anything about this book when I got it. It was on Read Now for a bit on NetGalley, so I just nabbed it, and I'm really glad I did. It does sound quite good. I also have The Maidens by Alex Michaelis. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's the author of The Silent Patient, which I really enjoyed, and this one comes out in June. It's a thriller. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I didn't do that for thrillers, but I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I do want to do a full review on it, except it doesn't come out until June, so I probably don't need to read it right now, but I kind of want to. And then finally, my last option for this weekend is going to be Where It All Lands. This is another YA debut. This is kind of like a sliding doors story. At least that's how it was pitched to me, and now the synopsis doesn't actually say anything about that, so I don't know. So it says here that it's told in dual timelines, and a simple coin toss alters the course of their year in profound and unexpected ways. So I think it's going to deal with grief because the main character's parent has or have died, and I'm hoping it's going to be a really deep story and quite emotional. So yeah, again, this one doesn't come out until July, so I'm reading it quite far in advance, but I don't have too many thrillers or contemporary books that are coming out in the very near future. So yeah, I wanted something to break up the fantasy monotony that is going on right now. Not that I don't think these fantasy books are going to be really good, but if I'm reading a bunch of chunky fantasy books like the ones there, then I'm probably going to want something to break them all up. I was going to mention a couple of library books as well that I perhaps wanted to read, but this is probably going to turn into a massive TBR video if I do that, and I've already done a March TBR. You can go and check that out if you want to, and I don't want to kind of overextend myself for the weekend. So realistically, I'm definitely going to read 100 or so pages of Where's Fragrance Part 2. That's a definite. I'm going to start reading, maybe finish either one of these. I'm not sure which one yet. I'm leaning towards Crown of Feathers, but having held this one in my hands and seen the deckled-edges, I'm quite excited about this one. And then I'm also going to choose one of those NetGalley books that I mentioned. There's no way I'm going to read all of these books, especially because there's not even a readathon going on. I want to read this weekend, and that's probably all I'm going to do. So those are my plans. Let me know your reading plans in the comments below. I want to know what you're doing this weekend, if you've got any like outside plans that you could be doing. It's really cool if you live in Australia or New Zealand and you're able to actually go out and do stuff that I am very jealous of because I am still stuck in-house. Please do go and check out the live stream for a memory called Empire. I'm going to have so much fun discussing this one with my friends, and thank you for watching. I'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye.